Hey everybody, I'm here with a quick video on young Scooter. Now, I did not know this young man or know about him. The first time I heard his name was the other day when unfortunately it was said that on his 39th birthday, he lost his life. Freak accident, was running away from the cops, jumped the fence, severed his femoral artery, and by the time they took him to the hospital, pretty much soon after, he was pronounced dead. The crazier part for me though is that some woman claiming to be neighborhood watch. She called in the 911 call that alerted the police to go to said home where he decided to flee from young Scooter. And they're saying now that her whole phone call was bogus. But I'm saying to myself, wow, this girl had an elaborate story for it to be bogus. Why would she do that? But not only that, I still go back to when they knocked on this door, if all was well, why did they close the door in the cop's face and then flee? One came back, young Scooter did not, because when he jumped the fence, unfortunately, he severed his femoral artery, and that was, pretty much his demise. I was thinking she was a brave neighborhood watch. She was doing better than me, because I don't know if I could have called and did all that. Especially the cops asking me all these questions. I'm like, yo, just get here. And the other part is they're looking for her. I mean, when you call 911, even though they ask you who you are, they know who you are. Because all your information comes up from the phone call that wherever you're calling from. So they're looking for her, but she's neighborhood watch. Did she not live in the neighborhood? Did she call from somewhere else and was just lying? But had the right address? Something about this thing don't seem right. But let's take a listen to the call and y'all let me know your thoughts. And maybe you know more about this story and you better connected than I am, and you can help me with my confusion. So young Scooter is dead. Atlanta 911 swatter claimed bloody naked woman being abused by pimps. Let's take a listen. It's wild.
There was a literally a shooting. The house, literally the neighbors next door, the house of the address that I just gave you, the 273. There is literally a whole domestic dispute going on. There's like seven guys that live in this house, and
What's your
then
name?
I'm sorry, what is my name?
Uh huh. Okay. Okay. Tell me exactly what happened.
Okay, so I'm the neighborhood watch,
Uh
and
huh.
basically like I said, these guys they're like selling drugs in and out of the house. All you see is guys coming in and out of the house with guns and stuff. They holding guns in the air, and then it's like I'm not sure if they're pimping, but it's the situation that's going on right now. This girl doesn't have on any clothes. They threw her outside. He was fighting the girl. He literally fought the girl. I'm not sure what they was fighting over. If they was fighting over drugs, that's what it sounded like. It sounded like they were fighting over drugs. Um, and then they started shooting. She had someone come over there, and they started shooting. But the house needs to be investigated. They're definitely doing they're doing illegal stuff over there, and it's
How
disturbing the
many shots were
area.
fired?
I would say three. It was three shots.
When did it happen?
It's happening now.
Okay.
So I believe the girl is hurt,
And
and
they're
that's why
coming
they
from 273 William Now Drive.
that's not yes. And the girl is hurt because she was like bleeding profusely, like blood everywhere.
Okay. Do you see or hear
She was
anything else?
yeah. She's trying to get away, and they're holding her. She's being held hostage, like she's trying to. They brought her. The guy that was fighting her, she ran outside naked, and then he was fighting her outside. And then there was
Okay.
another commotion. She tried to get away. He dragged her back in the house. So now they're at the door, literally fighting. She's trying to get out. And he's refusing to let her out. And it's like seven guys in the house. There's also a child in danger as well because she has a baby.
Okay. You said the female is naked.
Yeah, she's naked and she's bleeding profusely from her head.
Okay. Can you give me a description of the male?
The male is like has like a caramel complexion, low
Is he
haircut.
black, white, Hispanic, or Asian?
He's black and he drives. I believe. Well,
What
it
color
looks
shirt
like
and
this is
pants do he have on?
a blue, regular blue jeans and like a regular like t-shirt.
Well, before I get into that, is this a business house or an apartment?
This is a house, and I think you guys should get here quick because this girl he's really hitting her, and it's a child involved. There is like 7 guys in
Okay,
the
ma'am.
house, and they all have
Ma'am.
guns. You guys need to
Okay,
hurry and get here before she doesn't make it.
ma'am. We already have help organized for her. What's the phone number you're calling from? Exactly what happened?
There's a situation going on in this house. There's 7 guys that live here, and they're basically, I'm not sure if they're running some type of sex traffic. This individual, she's a 5'2", light-skinned female, black hair. She ran outside naked, bleeding from her face. She tried to get away. She was dragged back into the house, and they're holding her hostage. And then there was a baby involved. So this situation is really serious, and he's punching her. If you guys don't get her, she's going to be really hurt.
This is crazy. And she said 5'2". I don't know if I could guess anybody's height, but that's me. Young Scooter died last week on his 39th birthday, fleeing from cops, and we now have more insight as to why through a very suspicious 911 call. Today, Atlanta police released the audio that summoned them to William Nye Drive on Friday, where an unnamed woman made several disturbing claims about what she observed outside the residence. The female caller told cops she witnessed a naked woman being dragged out of the house in a dispute over drugs, saying the unclothed woman eventually called more men over to pow up the place. The caller, claiming to be the neighborhood watch, added she had long suspected the residence was a staging ground for either a drug dealing or a prostitution ring and urged officers to hurry because the woman was bleeding profusely from her head while being held hostage. There was also supposedly a child in danger, but when Atlanta police rushed to the scene, they encountered none of that. Only someone who slammed the door in the officers' faces when they approached the front. Oh, this is crazy.
We're here to discuss 2 events this evening. The first being from the 200 block of William Nye Drive in Zone 3. Officers responded to a dispute with a weapon. It was advised in the call remarks that shots were fired and a female was dragged back into the location. Once officers arrived, they knocked on the door. A male opened the door and immediately shut the door on the officers. The officers then established a perimeter. During the process of establishing the perimeter, 2 males fled out of the rear of the house. 1 male returned back into the house. The other male jumped 2 fences as he was fleeing. When officers located him on the other side of the fence, he appeared to have suffered an injury to his leg. Officers rendered aid, and he was transported to Grady Hospital, where he was pronounced deceased. That male is going to be a 39-year-old male out of Atlanta. Just to be very clear, the injury that was sustained was not via the officers on scene. It was when the male was fleeing.
It was then young Scooter, likely clueless to the 911 dispatch, fled from the back of the residence with another man, only to tear a femoral artery by jumping the fence as cops gave chase. That is him. Officers never discovered a woman bleeding profusely, and Scooter eventually succumbed to his injuries at the Grady Marcus Trauma Center later that night. Scooter's death sent shockwaves through the hip-hop community, and police are actively looking for the woman who made the bogus 911 call. When I read that bogus, I'm just like, I mean, are they saying this bogus because they never found anyone bleeding? They didn't see any pow casings around the house and on the floor. When the other male came back to the house, he denied anything that they allegedly had came there for. My only thing is, why did they close the door on the cops and why did they run? That was an elaborate story for it to be a lie. She has a vivid imagination if that wasn't true. Listen, guys, if you know more about this story, you definitely got to chat with me. And when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. Everybody, thanks for watching. This story baffles me. I'm like, who tells that huge lie to 911? And if nothing was going on, why did they run? Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next video.